If you'll bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we understand that there are those who are in need of comfort and kindness. Open our eyes to their problems and let our ears hear their voices of need. Help us to show our love for you by serving others through Kiwanis, and we now bless this meeting and to us in your service. Amen. Amen.
Okay, I did remind everybody to silence your cell phones, but we usually do that anyway. So I'll turn time over to Dick Burton to introduce our speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Each week we come and have the great opportunity to get our minds kind of stretched in new ways as people present information to us about things that a lot of times is our first time exposure. Today we have Kate Williston with us, who's I think been here before, but in a different role, and is today going to talk with us a little bit about the Decatur women's ice hockey team. So, welcome, Kate.
We're running our promo video up there just in case, anybody's going to join us. We like to say we have no age maximum, there is an age minimum. So you must be at least 18 or better. See a lot of 18 or betters in the room, so don't want to necessarily cover up the crust there. Okay, all right. All right, well, this is our jersey. This is the Decatur Women's Hockey Association. We are the Decatur Fury. So we have a reversible jersey, which is fun. We got last year. It's always easy to get on the ice. Got my gloves here. I'm going to get them out. And where would I be without my helmet? So I'll have to in case we need it. All right. All right. We'll be good for the PowerPoint. Awesome. Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone for inviting me to come today. I thought I'd start a little bit with my own journey through athletics and how it came to becoming a part of the Decatur Women's Hockey Association, helping to run the organization. I didn't dig out the box of my own pictures, but I did find a picture of my daughter and I recently at the hockey rink. And I can say this is definitely makes me remember back to my own childhood when I saw my father playing hockey as a young child. I was encouraged to participate in sports, but we did not have an ice rink where I grew up in Worcester, Ohio, even though now, 2 cornfields down the road, there's a big ice rink. So go figure. And our teams from Decatur now go there to play. But my family was greatly supportive. I played soccer, and lacrosse was a new sport. I got to play that in junior high and high school. I tried just about every sport you can imagine, but soccer and lacrosse sort of became the sports that I remember that really took me places. I traveled to Europe with soccer. I was on the state team and played in college, both soccer athletics was so positive my entire life, and my encouragement from my family, my grandparents, taking me to all the practices, even if they were an hour, 2 hours away, it didn't matter. You know, the financial contributions, you know, a lot of kids are not able to participate in these things because the money's just not there, and there's a lot of gear and travel that goes along with it. So I'm just forever grateful, you know, for all those supports, because it's such an important part of my life. So talked a little bit about that. I got to Decatur, and I was still a competitive female athlete outside of college. So I started looking around for where was the women's sports teams that I could play on here. I wasn't done yet. You know, at 23, I thought I still got a lot left in me. So a couple of years down the road, I did find roller derby. I did that for 7 seasons. I did bicycling and meetups with people, hiking, you know, a lot of things. Nothing was competitive though. I like that competitive edge. For those of you that are a little bit more competitive in spirit, you know what I mean. You get competitive at things that you're not supposed to be competitive about, like yoga. You know, that does not seem like a competitive sport, you know, you versus yourself. So roller derby sort of fit the niche and the need that I was looking for, but soccer and lacrosse really weren't available, you know, for just women here. I had come here in the fall of 2024, so now I can say Decatur is the longest place that I've ever lived and I call home. I did graduate from Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio, and I really started playing hockey to supplement the roller derby season. The 2 seasons really worked well together. We had one that was kind of a, you know, fall to winter, and then another that was spring to summer. Worked perfectly. And then COVID happened, and it sort of changed everything in every aspect of all of our lives, including sports. Roller derby was a highly contact-heavy sport, as some of you may know. Seeing it, if you've seen it on TV or seen it at the Civic Center, the goal is to hit people out of bounds. So you cannot play that sport without being shoulder to shoulder, breathing down someone's neck. So that was very hard to come back from during the pandemic. Next slide. So I started doing hockey then, and I just want to say that I've loved it ever since. Hockey for women is non-contact. Although I will say there is a lot of contact that happens when you go for the puck. It was able to return to play a little bit sooner because of that element. So as I was getting ready for this presentation, I just kept thinking, you know, what is it about sports that I love so much? Why does it benefit my life? Why are sports so important? We have, you know, the physical health benefits, of course. You know, it makes our bodies feel good to be in shape. It helps our mental well-being. I always tell people, I don't know where I'd be without sports, because it improves my mood and the endorphins that I get from it, and just such a greater positive outlook on life. We have the social and the academic outcomes of being involved in sports. You feel these small successes, working with your teammates and creating social bonds only leads to greater outcomes in other areas of life. You have leadership opportunities and teamwork. And I think it builds a great community amongst the people that you interact with, and even opportunities like this to share about the love of the sport. So I believe it has really greatly impacted me, you know, throughout my life that way. So we began the Decatur Women's Hockey Association here as the first women's hockey league in 2019. Actually sort of came about in the summer. I came over as the public relations person for roller derby to kind of find out what was happening, and then I never left. And I brought some roller derby friends over too. It really began as a group of hockey moms who decided that instead of telling their children how the game of hockey was played, they would show them how it was done. So that's the origins. As you can imagine, you know, parents always saying, do this, do that, you know, from the bench and the bleachers. And somebody said, well, why don't you just get out there and just show them? And I said, okay. And so they did. So I came along. I was not a hockey mom then. So I was one of the few that was not a parent of a child in hockey, but had the experiences that I felt like would benefit the league. So we are registered with USA Hockey, as well as AHI, which is the Amateur Hockey Athletic Association. We are also a 501c3 nonprofit organization. All of our skaters, went over this, are 18 or better. We register anywhere from 20 to 30 skaters a season, and that continues to grow. Last year, I would say we probably had between 30 and 40 skaters. All skaters must have their USA Hockey insurance. They have to pay monthly dues, and we like to say have a positive attitude, because it's really just about fun. So our season runs September through March. We try to offer a bulk rate, so we can offer the highest discount. $250 a season helps us to pay for just the ice, and then if we want to do games or have refs, sometimes we have to charge on top of that. So a sheet of ice, which is an hour-long indicator, is $175 an hour. So it's a little bit of an expensive sport to play. You also have your hockey insurance, which is $80 a year. And then you have your gear and your skates that can be $200 to $300. We're very fortunate. We've played against sports. There's a lot of, we're a hockey town, so there's a lot of used equipment. It's just usually kind of itty-bitty, is the only thing. And we need things that are a little bit more mature. So we do run into some issues there. Our league carries a gear bank of items that women can wear. So we'll have like a whole gear setup, even down to the skates and the stick, because we never want the price of anything to be a barrier for anyone to get started. We know it's hard enough just to say, I'm interested in playing hockey, and then I'm going to take an hour out of my very busy week away from my family to go and do this and have someone watch my children and caretake for them. So it's a huge sacrifice, and it's really hard for women to make that first step. So anything we can do to eliminate the barrier. So we do offer sponsorship opportunities for skaters that come in and say, I have 3 kids, and all their sports fees and everything. There's no way I can afford it. So we try to create a sponsorship fund where they can apply for money, and we have an application process in order to do that. We also look for sponsors in the community to sponsor our team so that maybe they can sponsor a game or, a skater as well. So our practices are held at the Decatur Civic Center on Sunday mornings. We have a really nice ice time, 7:45. Used to be 7, this year it's 7:45, so we're very thankful for that. We have skaters that commute from out of town, several skaters from Bloomington, a few from Springfield, some from South. We are a Central Illinois team, even though we are the Decatur Women's Hockey Association. Our ice is actually the least expensive here in the whole Central Illinois area. That is because we are not an ice arena, and we don't have like a semi-professional team, that's vying for that ice. We do have the Blaze, we do have the Flames, we do have Decatur Youth Hockey. So getting that 1 hour of ice time even is hard for us to reserve. And then we look to try and schedule some games this year. Those are always few and far between, that we can do at home. So we do end up scheduling a lot of away games, or maybe up in Bloomington or Champaign, or traveling to Chicago. There's a lot of out-of-town games just because the ice is such a premium here. We have traveled as far as Kankakee, St. Louis. We've been up to the most northern tip of Wisconsin, to Eagle River. We do an outdoor pond hockey tournament there in January. Let's go somewhere colder, in the middle of the winter. Everybody else is like, let's go down to Florida. We're like, let's go north. So, but there's lots of fun tournaments like that across the United States to participate in. These are the things that you'll need if you want to get started with women's hockey. You're going to need your helmet with your face covering, which can be a cage or it can be clear. They have a new version that has a clearer option. You'll need a chest protector, which for any sport like football or maybe a catcher in softball or baseball has a similar type of equipment. They do actually make women's fits for these things. So a lot of the time you get started, you have men's equipment, but I've been able to find a women's chest protector, so it's much more protective because it fits my body. You'll need some good elbow pads. They do make them specifically for hockey. They come on the elbow and then they come down the arm a little bit and then have Velcro so you can protect from pucks hitting you. You'll need your padded gloves, kind of look like boxing gloves. And you'll need padded shorts with a very protective piece, tailbone protection. In roller derby, I did not have that. And that's another reason why I've really chosen to go the hockey route, believe it or not, less injuries. When I started with roller derby, my dad said, you're gonna go 110% and you're gonna hurt yourself. And I did. And I hurt myself twice, very bad, and I still pay for it. So tailbone protection is a must. Shin guards, which they come up all the way over your knees as well, and they wrap around your legs on the sides. Your hockey skates, of course, and your hockey stick. There are some optional pieces of protection you may be wondering about. Do we wear mouth guards? You can. A lot of people wear mouth guards for concussion protection, but obviously our face is covered. There is something called a laceration guard, which could be worn on the neck. The youth are required to wear that in our sport because we're non-contact and we are adults. We can choose to wear or not wear that. There's something called a Jill. You may be familiar with a jock. There is a Jill specifically fitted for a woman so she doesn't get hit with a puck in the pelvis. And then I like to wear a bandana under my hat or my helmet to capture the sweat and to keep my precious locks away from my face. So, see a lot of women with short haircuts. There's probably a good reason for that. My hairs just keep kind of coming off, and pretty soon I think I'm going to have short hair. So, next time you see me. I wanted to track back a little bit. I've got some pictures over the years. So this was our 2019 to 2020 season when we were first established. We had 15 skaters register with us that first season. Then I would say the COVID edition, 2020 to 2021. The men at the Civic Center gave up their ice time. This is how we got the best ice time. Because we couldn't play games, but we could practice. And all we needed was practice. So that worked out great. So during the pandemic, that's when we really slid into the early morning time, which works perfect. So there was a break. Sorry, that writing is hard to read. But there was a short break for about a month due to the pandemic, and then we were able to return. I always wore a mask the entire time, and I had a neoprene mask that actually went on my helmet. They developed something that attached with Velcro and everything. But I worked in a retirement setting, so it was really important to me, even though I was interacting with other people, I didn't want to be bringing any sickness back to the community. So, cheers, sorry. Okay, poor little guy. All right. I promise I won't check the microphone. Okay. So we didn't have any official games scheduled during COVID. We just worked on our basic skills with the league, and we did hold one co-ed scrimmage. 2021 to 2022, this was what we call the return from the pandemic. We had a lot of new skaters come out. It was really interesting. A lot of these were completely new skaters to try it. We found that was a big trend, post-COVID. We had a lot of people who were like, I want to do anything new. I want a new challenge. I'm tired of being cooped up. So if they didn't pick up something new during the pandemic, it was afterwards. And we certainly saw that resurgence. So we had over 20 skaters registered, and that was our third season. And then by 2022, you did see sort of a change, a shift in the faces. Some of those original skaters that had come out to start the league in 2019, 2020, they maybe got more involved, with their children or family situations changed. You see kind of a new group. But we were able to register 24 skaters that season. So I felt like we were really starting to grow. Something else I wanted to talk about is in 2023, something really big happened. The Professional Women's Hockey Organization was started. Professional Women's Hockey Association or League, the PWHL. So some of you may have heard of that. Some of you, this might be the first time. But women are now being paid to play hockey professionally, just like all the male athletes. So it's just a amazing. Entering their third season now. You know, we had girls dreaming of, I'm going to grow up and do something, be a hockey player, and now they can actually do it. You know, so we're really coming into some really neat times for women's sports. I think we still have a long way to go. I think it was in 2012 was the first time that there were as many women's sports at the Olympics as there were men. They've been represented since the 1900s, but we're still like on that climb. And it's really about exposure, you know. I know the women's game in a lot of sports is more of a finesse game, you know, than the male game. But how many times are we able to be exposed to actually the opportunity to watch, you know, the opportunity to appreciate? We know Caitlin Clark, you know, we know how amazing she is. The fact that a butter sculpture was made of her in 2023 at the Iowa State Fair, I mean, who has a sculpture in butter made of you? That's how you know you really made it, right? Replacing the butter cow or whatever. So, you know, and how Midwest of us too, right? So I think it's athletes like her that are really showing that the women's game can be just as interesting and can really take it to that next level. So if you ever have the chance to watch the Professional Women's Hockey League, or go up, you know, like to the Bloomington Bison game, just see, you know, what these athletes are capable of. It's really amazing. Again, exposure though, that's the issue. Where can you watch the Professional Women's Hockey League? Only on YouTube. You have to go to the YouTube channel. It's a little clunky. You can't just click on your TV, you know, and go to ESPN. So that's where we're still coming along on that journey. So keep your eyes open. Maybe we'll be on like ESPN 3 this year or something. So the 2023-2024 season, again, seeing a lot of good growth. We're maintaining at that 30 or more skaters. That seems to be pretty consistent. And that's the same thing now. We're really seeing, you know, about 30 to 40 skaters register. Can't get anybody to come out for picture day anymore, but we do have a lot more skaters. And then we got little fancier jerseys now, kind of looking like we know what we're doing. We did have a transition with our hockey director, so, you know, as you know, with organizations where you have someone who's really leading the group, you have to do like kind of a step back to grow again. So that was last year, and now we're starting to kind of rebound from that. So I'm now the new hockey director. That was not a role that I took on lightly because I do all the scheduling, the coaches, the referees, making sure everything's running with the league, but I have been around for a while, so it's more of a transfer of knowledge and having the contacts. I've been the marketing and public relations chair for as long as really I've been around the organization. I've been the president for a couple of years, and anytime, you know, anything needed done, I was kind of the go-to gal. So I have a hard time sitting in a back seat in organizations if I'm not helping to lead the charge. I don't know why, I just can't do it. But, you know, there's those that take that role in organizations, and there's those that are happy to take direction. I'm just kind of the one that usually is, we're doing this, guys, you know, or ladies. So, but the Decatur Women's Hockey Association board is composed of 5 skaters. We used to be a 7-person board, and we're all on 2-year terms. I wanted to introduce you to a few of our skaters. I thought that might help to give you a little bit of a flavor of our team and the variety that we have. This is Karen Quick. She is 48 years old. This is her 6th year playing hockey. She is the sales marketing support at Caterpillar. And she started to play to learn, and then she shared the experience with one of her sons. She kept with it as she has made great friends and enjoys having a hobby for herself. This is Abby Mitchell, and this is Abby's 4th year playing hockey. As her career, she builds farm equipment at Brant in Hudson, Illinois. She's 24 years old. She loves playing hockey and being on the ice. It has really built my confidence and helped me make new friends. This is Shelby Otta. She is 30 years old. She is a journeyman millwright for Permian or Scalies. She loves fishing, kayaking, working on cars, and of course, hockey. She was 7 years old when she started playing. From the moment that she stepped on the ice, she knew that it was what she wanted to be doing. And Shelby did play with the Decatur Youth Hockey Association as well. And so it's fun where we've had a couple skaters that have come all the way through and have returned back to the community and have joined us. She is one of those rare ones that we have. This is Allison Schmid. She is 40 years old. She is in her 9th year playing hockey. She is the technical services department. She is the technical services department at Bloomington Public Library, also known as the librarian. She plays hockey for the camaraderie with teammates, exercise, and love of the game in that order. And this is Tamsin Butler, our goalkeeper. We call her Taz. She is 33 years old. This is her 3rd year playing hockey. You'll see her in the office at Newell's Auto Body, if you ever have to go there. And she plays for the other women that play. We're a family, we lift each other up, and we encourage each other to keep going. So I do want to kind of hit home on that hockey is family. You know, we celebrate together the ups and downs in life, I'm sure, much like you do here with your comrades. When babies are born, when we experience illness, there's a mother-daughter combo up there. That's always fun to see when you have a mother and a daughter come out to skate together. Through the pandemic, my hockey and roller derby communities supported me when I was out without daycare for over a year. I had 18 different babysitters that year. I was able to maintain my employment. But you know, everybody got to hold that baby. So it was a good year for everybody. And that was during COVID too, so it was a tough time to find good, consistent childcare with all the things going on. We do participate in a couple different tournaments. So I was just going to highlight those. Johnny O's is in St. Louis. It was started for the gentleman on the right in the photo there. That is Johnny Oralt. And he was injured, a work injury. You can see him there doing sled hockey. So that is another really neat sport to watch. So because of his injury, he was paralyzed from the waist down. And every year, funds have been raised for hockey players who have been injured. Doesn't necessarily need to be hockey, but that year they raised $55,000 for him to help him and his family to recover from that injury. So we participated in that tournament every year in St. Louis, and it just entered its 5th year. We've done the Brent Engelbright Memorial. This was a tournament held to remember Brett, who lost his life to the game he loved through multiple concussions. So they do a lot of concussion awareness through this. And that first year, they raised almost $15,000 to help with that awareness. We do Eagle River, I mentioned that, up in the northern part of Wisconsin. And they also always support different causes. When we went up there in 2023, they were doing Sunshine for Humanity. It was a homeless shelter. So you'll see this is a pretty typical theme. A lot of hockey tournaments will make a charity as a part of it. So that always really feels good to be a part of as well. We've done Pucks for Autism, and they support efforts nationwide, to raise funds and support autism awareness. We participated in a lot of different tournaments. The first one was 2023. Oh, sure. Just one last thing here I wanted to let you know about is we are participating in the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is Saturday, September 20th. We just wanted to invite you to come walk with us or volunteer. I do have some papers up here if you'd like to join us for the walk. There's a big call for volunteers right now, and I can find you a spot. We got spots for walking, spots for sitting, spots for greeting. Any spot you are interested in, I can help you with that as well. I'm going to go to the end and take your questions.
Years ago, many years ago, I watched roller derby. Is that still going on?
Yes, I believe there's a roller derby match coming up this Saturday, actually. So, yeah, good question.
I love watching baseball. I love watching.
Oh, yeah. No, they're great. I think roller derby is really coming back. They've gone all year round now, so that's another reason why the seasons do not complement each other. Because they practice year round. They needed to do that for their recruiting.
everybody in here who has refereed or coached hockey, raise your hand. I have. Youth hockey.
Yay.
Well, I have a stepson who plays hockey,
Okay.
and even at his advanced age, he's still playing hockey. But his equipment, shall we say, gets a little bit stinky after he plays. What about the women's equipment? How do you keep it from being stinky?
I have some gear spray. I don't know. My favorite thing to do is wash all my gear in a bathtub with Dawn dish soap and hang it out over my daughter's play equipment in the sunshine. I think sun is the best way. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, this is more of a comment than a question. I never watched hockey until my best friend's daughter was on the Olympic team in Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
And there was definitely contact in the Olympics.
Yes.
So I was amazed at how tough they were. She actually sustained a back injury that ended her career in that Olympics. And so now she's a physical therapist. But I never had any interest until I watched them, and then I found it very interesting.
Yeah, and they're talking about maybe making the professional women's hockey league contact, like actually putting that on there, but I think you're right. I mean, contact does happen, whether it's a contact related sport or not. You're going for the puck, there's gonna be some body-to-body contact. Yep.
Can you explain the position you play usually, and do you ever get caught offsides?
I hope not anymore, but my first few years I was offsides a lot. That blue line is certainly hard to not glide past. My favorite position is probably center. I like it because it's kind of like a soccer midfielder, but I also like to play left wing because my stick bends that way. So if you're a lefty or a righty, that might give you an advantage on a shot. You wouldn't have to use your backhand on that side. And I don't mind playing defense. I'm learning to skate backwards a little bit faster now, but that's certainly a skill that takes time. I did play goalie for the first time last clinic, which we held a skills clinic, and that was really fun, very different.
What's the penalty for fighting in the women's league?
Straight to the penalty box and maybe an ejection. We do go to the penalty box. Probably the most common is tripping, whether it be accidental or on purpose. I remember one time last year my stick got caught up in a gal's legs because she was just really tall, and she went down, kind of scissored her down, and I went to the box. I wasn't trying to, I was just going for the puck, but it happens. So. I'm going to take one picture from my league, if that's okay. Would you mind if I took that? Is that okay? All right, great. I'm going to take one really quick. There you go. All right, cool.
Kate, we have a certificate for you, appreciation for coming and speaking with us today.
Thank you.
And these are a really cherished item.
They are.
Kiwanis of Decatur, so.
Thank you. It's fun. I hope to see you all at the Decatur Civic Center when you see a game advertised. I'll be sure to let someone know in the club so you can come. We can't schedule any games before September 15th because of all the other teams. So.
I'm not sure though about a group that goes to northern Wisconsin and plays outside in the wintertime. That's to me a little bit of lunacy, I think.
Yes, you have to be a bit quick.
Yeah. Kate said she's willing to organize a triathlon group in here. We really appreciate you being here. For those of you who wonder about the growth of women's hockey, I just happened to learn from a friend of mine who lives in the East St. Louis area His daughter is a goalie on a high school team. And an amateur team from Chicago area offered to move the entire family to Chicago in order for her to play on their team. So women's hockey is really, I guess, kind of taking on quite a growth.
Yeah, actually, I want to say one more thing. I'm full of facts, so I was doing all this research. From 2022 to today, there's been a 38% growth in women's hockey. So you can see how we've been a part of that huge progression. And then with the professional women's hockey league starting, but USA Hockey actually did a study, and since everyone has to register, they can chart that growth by the numbers. So it's really incredible. It's grown like 15 times, you know. It's just amazing. So fun.
Well, thank you very much, Kate. We appreciate you being here. Kathy, do we have any special moments or anything to announce?
I have a health report.
Okay, well, I'll wait for Tom to invite you instead of help.
Okay, I have no special moments at this time.
No special moments, okay. All right, so then we'll turn time over to Tom for announcements.
Okay, Linda, you're back from vacation. What do you got for attendance today?
We have 48 club members present, 2 guests, 1 speaker, for a total of 51. And Claudel White is here as Harold Wilkinson's guest. I don't know if he wants to say anything. And Paul Foster is here, he's sitting in the back, as a guest of John Baird today.
Okay, would you like to say a few words? Sure.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Claudel White. I've been a resident of Decatur for about 40 years now. Originally from the Quad Cities, Moline, Illinois. You guys have probably heard of that maybe. And to Kate's point, my kids both played youth hockey here, Decatur Flames. Then they went on to play hockey with the Rivermen, Peoria. So, and my youngest son, which is really cool, he's in the financial business up in Des Moines, but he's also associated with the Iowa Wild, which is a farm team for the Minnesota Wild. So really exciting stuff. So I know about the travel, the expense, the smell. Yeah, so you're definitely right. That bathtub thing is probably a good tip. So, but it's nice to be here with you guys. It's a great group. Decatur's a great place to live and grow and all that stuff too. So it's been a pleasure. So I want to thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Who's our other guest?
Paul Foster.
Oh, yeah, Paul, do you have anything to say? No? Okay. Well, you're here, little Paul. Okay, health report with Kathy Seacott.
I'd like to let you know about Kathy Ferguson. She's asked for prayers, and she fell on August the 24th. And she broke her shoulder bone, and her right arm is in a sling. So please keep her in your thoughts. And I also noticed that Dave Johnson is here today, and it's really nice to see you. Glad you were able to make it.
Good to see you, Dave. Okay, birthdays and anniversaries with Kevin Cleary.
I'm going to turn this over to Charles since he can see.
He conveniently forgot his glasses. Birthdays and anniversaries, August 31st through September 13th. On the 12th, Al Hendricks. He'll be 82. On the 12th also, Kathy Seabach. And she'll be older. On the 13th, Linda Rowland. She completed another revolution around the sun. That's all the birthdays. Let's sing.
Happy birthday to you.
Susie and Ed Bone, 53 years. On the 13th, Bruce and Tia Logan, 28 years. Let's sing. Okay, Kevin's words of wisdom. Optimism is the state of mind which believes matrimony will be cheaper than engagement.
Okay, moving into announcements here, we'll start with Cheryl Boss. Here you go, Cheryl.
Just want to let you know that I've signed up for Boo at the Zoo. It will be August the 18th. And we will, October the 18th, yes. October the 18th. It will be from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock. We won't be at our stations until 3:30, but we need to get there a half hour before and check in. And we only have 7 stations because Caterpillar went through and took 3 stations off of every single day. So that'll only give us 7 stations. And I have called Early Birds because they have always worked with us. And if they want to do that, I will see that they get another day. We won't have room for them on August the 18th. But I will bring sign-up sheets, and if you would like to do that, you have to fill out a sign-up sheet, and I need to take it to the Park District. Thank you.
Dan Seabach.
Okay, I got 3 announcements. First one is September 7th at 7 o'clock out at St. Teresa's next Sunday. The Key Club's having a meeting. Everybody's invited. I'm also waiting to hear back from the health department and set up a date for the flu and COVID shots. I've got a letter here from Kim Groom, the district governor. She wants to thank you for the tour of MRI and including her. It was a great experience, and I believe through Ms. Val's acknowledged that all startup questions will get answered. The resilience and positivity are qualities we can all learn from, and we value the contributions they make every day. She said, I wish your clubs the best in the commitment to sponsor Action Club. Kim Groom, our governor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Connell Anderson.
Okay, I think it's getting to be about time to do another Adopt a Street. I'm looking at the option of maybe doing it either Friday, September 26th, or Saturday, the 27th. I don't care which day we do it, but I'd like to get at least 8 to 12 people. If we can get that many people, it only takes about an hour. And I think that September may be the Illinois Eastern Iowa Community Service Day month, if I have that right. So this would be a good project for that. I still have the Dove RSVP forms if anybody would like them. And I do want to say one quick word. I want to acknowledge the great job that Mark Avery and Don Wentford did helping with the fun project. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say something, you know, about 2 weeks before. I think a lot of people were thinking, gosh, I don't think we're going to pull this off, but we did. Nobody missed I don't want to steal the thunder, so I'm sure Mark was going to say something, but it turned out really well.
Okay, thank you. Susan Rahal.
Yes, good morning. First of all, we have the sign-up sheet over there by Mary Jean for Good Samaritan Inn for September 23rd. So if you're interested in helping volunteer at that time, you can sign your name up over there. There's trauma dolls over there if you're interested in sewing trauma dolls. And this time at Good Samaritan Inn, we served 188 hot lunches and 75 cold lunches for a total of 263 meals, so that was very nice. We had 7 children, and we distributed 18 trauma dolls. Thank you.
Super. Okay. Paula, do you have something to say today?
Oh, I always have something to say. Let's make it up. All right, first of all, 9/11 Memorial, still working on trying to get it ready for the 9/11 ceremony, which I'd like to invite all of you to if you are interested. It will be on 9/11. And the Kozire motorcycle parade starts at Kozire Harley Davidson at 6 o'clock. And they have that stair walk at one of the motels out in Mount Zion, and they leave from there, and they meet at the 9/11 Memorial. So they say it starts at 6, but it really starts at those places at 6, and they come through town with the parade and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in being there, I still do suggest you get there at 6 or maybe slightly thereafter, just for parking purposes there at the beach house. I have nothing to do with the ceremony itself. So I don't know what they're planning. I know I'm not speaking this year, but again, you're all more than welcome to attend. Flip tabs are coming in nicely, so keep encouraging friends, neighbors, and family to save those. Beer, pop, canned fruits, vegetables, soup, pet food. All of those kind of flip tabs do benefit the Ronald McDonald House. Lids to Binge program. I think we had a great day at the Milliken Day of Service. That was Thursday, August 21st at the zoo. We had about 27 Milliken students and had a variety of people from Golden Cave, the Decatur Garden Club, and a few other people that were not associated with either of those groups. That day we completed and sorted 500 pounds of lids. And so I just want to thank everybody so much who came and helped out with that and interacted with the Milliken students. On Monday, that following Monday, we went down, Susan and I and another friend, and picked up 2 benches and 6 bird baths. That took a total of 700 pounds of lids. So our grand total for the Lids to Bench program now is 38 benches, 28 bird baths, 8 planters, and 1 picnic table. We are 62 pounds short of having saved 10,000 pounds of lids from the landfill. So it's 9,938 pounds, which equals 4.969 tons of lids. So there was an article in the paper, and every time I get a chance to, talk to the media, I always, say Golden K and, the people that are helping out, but, they sometimes don't put that in, so I wanted to let you know I did neglect that. Also, if anybody else has any comments about their experience working with the Milliken students, feel free to stand up and share your experience with us. And down at the Green Tree Plastics, they're making other things. They have some angels, with the wings. They have the Virgin Mary. This guy caught my attention. This is made out of all plastic lids, and I just thought it was kind of cool. I like the woodsy up north duck geese look. And so I asked to buy this, and they gave it to me for free. So that was kind of a nice little gesture on their part for the lids that we have brought down to them. So, Susan, do you have anything to say about anything? Okay. I guess the only other thing I'd say is, when we started this, it was mainly for schools, churches, playgrounds, so on and so forth, and it's kind of evolved into memorial benches. And I just think that has really taken off, and I didn't, over time I've realized more and more how much these benches mean to people that are in memory of a loved one. So I think we had a little experience with that on Monday when we took it to Taylorville and to Tuscola. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. You didn't duck the issue. Mary Jean Bauer.
Yes, I will be taking reservations for our cookout on Wednesday, September the 17th, today after the meeting, and next week they're $10. We will furnish all the food. You are free. We will furnish water, but if you want anything else to drink, you can bring beer or wine or soft drinks, whatever. You will need to bring your own. And there are park benches, but if you want a little bit more comfortable chair, you might think about bringing a folding chair. So, thank you.
Okay. Bob Kershaw.
This year, I hope you can hear me. This year we're doing peanuts for 4 different clubs. So we're finding that we're having a little difficulty getting the peanuts. So Right now, I'm going to talk about several different things we're doing. First of all, now, we're doing our kickoff today for the peanut taste in front of the stores. And we're doing it on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The reason is Walmart said we could not do it on Saturday, so we had to do it on Thursday and Friday. The other stores we do on Friday and Saturday. So some of our members said, well, if we're going to do it, we have to have our counters there all 3 days. We have to have some people working, so why not do all 3 days for all the stores? So we actually need 35 spaces filled each day to maximize it. And it should make us quite a bit more money this year if we do that. I did get a sign as soon as possible so that we can see where we stand on if we can do the 3 days or not. So I did get a sign up as soon as you can, and no later than next week, because we're going to do this 2 weeks from tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Saying that, I have letters here to each one of the stores, and these are 3 of them out in Mount Zion. I have 3 of them for Forsyth. I have 2 of them in South Shores, and then I have 3 separate ones. I need those letters delivered today to the individual stores, telling them when we're going to be there. So if I can have you come and pick these up. Okay. On your table, I think it's passed out order forms for the peanuts. We're in need of a lot of donations if we're going to give to the first responders and to the military. So, saying that, on the peanuts, how many here think we can do 200 cases? Raise your hands. Okay. Well, we're going to do 400 cases. That's our goal this year, 400 cases. Now, here's where we're going to help you out. John and I have sent out letters to individuals, and we now stand at 154 cases. So now you're down to 240 something. We will get you to the first 200. You get us to the last 200. So you got 50 people here to get us 200, and we'll make sure that we'll get you to the first 200. So we're only looking at 200, and we needed a lot of donations for the troops and for the. Okay. Over here, we have cases that need to be delivered today. On each row, we have the name. These are for Billingsley and Forsyth. These are for Gun Company. Nelson Termite. Marty's Tire, Decatur Jewelry and Pawn. Okay. I have here cases for Dr. Gerber and a case for Connie Doty, so they all go together. And then I have some separate cases to Air King, Dr. Terry, Joe Caputo. We have here cases for Peerless, and they have an address they want them sent them to, so I put that address on here that you have to take them to. Dan Calkins, Leo Berger, Hartman Agriculture, that's in Forsyth. Ripples in Mount Zion, Huff Lumber, and Dr. Patel. Those who delivered them, but we need to have these delivered today. This is our goal, 400. And if each of you could get one or two other people to sign up, I think we'd be in good shape. I appreciate it. I know we're asking for a lot of it this year. One other thing I'm going to say. This is my last year as being chairman of the Peanuts. So I hope you help me out. Thank you.
Don't forget to sign up today or pick up some of these peanuts to deliver. Okay, Mark Avery.
Thank you, Tom. I want to thank everybody who helped us out at the Farm Progress Show. We had a great experience out there, learned a lot, and hopefully we can do it again in a couple of years. I first want to call out our committee. Harold led us. We also had Mike, Kyle, and Don, and worked very hard. I want to really thank Don. He was the first guy there all 3 days and the last guy to leave every day. There we are up there on the screen with the Pope Mobile. Maybe if we can get that Pope Mobile down, we can deliver all these today. Maybe. Want to thank everybody who came out. We had several of you came out for several days and several shifts. I think everything went real good. I was talking to John one day, telling him how much the teamwork and everybody working together, and his comment was, Kiwanis, we show up. And I thought that was one of the best comments of the whole thing. Everybody was always there, and it really helped. Also want to thank the the early bird group. They had 4 of their people came and really helped too. And if you can see the pictures of all the people that were out there. We overall I thought it all went really good. And Harold, thanks for all your leadership. Really appreciate that. John, do you know how much we collected in over 400 in the jars? Yeah. So we had jars there. We had over $400 of donations. So that was really good. I do want to call out Karen and Mary. They were there each morning from 8 to 10. And the Farm Progress Show people came up and said, boy, those 2 ladies really worked hard. We have a big show coming up in Grand Island, Nebraska called Husker Harvest Days. And could they come out there and be a part of that? We were trying to arrange Don to drive them out there in the Pope Mobile. And if they go, they got to leave right after this meeting to get there. Great experience, and if anybody, some people have answered the text with their comments. If you've got any other comments on what we could do better next time, let me know. I personally want to thank you for letting me, Harold, let me be a part of this. As a new member here, I met a lot of the members here out there, got to talk to them. And that was important to me, to get to know everybody and to be a part of this group. And you guys just did a great job. Thank you.
Big effort there. Thank you very much. Anyone else have an announcement?
Yes. The orientations this day for August did not happen for a various number of reasons during that month. And I'm scheduled to do it again next week, but I'm not going to do both. So I would like, I think there's a good number of people here for orientation, so if we could do that today, would like to do that after the meeting today. Jerry, would that work for you? And Mark, and I think there might be one or two others.
Okay.
And if not, we'll do it next week. But we're not going to have it both. Let's do it today.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, one, no.
I just wanted to give a special thanks to Mark Avery. As a new member, he stepped up and he led us through this thing. He just did a tremendous job. He was always there coaching and pushing us, and again, just a wonderful, wonderful guy. I've known him for years and years, and he just stepped up like he always does. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, I've only got a half an hour's worth of announcements, so we should be out of here by 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to cut half of them, more than half of them. I would like to reiterate some of the slogans that we heard at the II convention. The one that I kind of got hold of was a slogan to ask. And the ask means always sell Kiwanis. So as you're going around and, representing the club, we're trying to sell our goodness and hopefully increase our numbers. So remember that one, ask, always sell Kiwanis. We're looking forward at some point, Charles, I hope we can get Michaela and ladies through here for a recognition if we can. So keep working on that. I appreciate it. Okay. There was at our board meeting, we continue to do broadcast our club meetings, and I think that's going pretty well. Kyle, not Kyle. Let's see. Who's our recorder? Joel, thank you. We appreciate you doing that. And remind those who are not here that he is recording them. We're piloting to some extent, but they can tune in on Facebook. There was a death in our family. Dennis Taylor. Some of you may have known him, but we did receive a $50 check donation from Molly Reinhardt for his to recognize his death. So we appreciate what she did. We're going to skip over Action Club, but we do want to bring up some things with regard to that. I will compliment you and thank you because we have definitely met the criteria for being a distinguished club. So we're looking forward to that recognition down the road. And we're just shy of 100, which is the goal that I had set of new members. So, we still got a few days left, so bring your friends and let's see what we can do. Lastly, I'd like to call Don and Mark up here for just a minute. I had a couple of recognition trophies that I wanted to give them. I left them in my car, and my son borrowed my car, so I don't have them today. But I also want to give them recognition by presenting them with 50-50 tickets. Honestly, they went far, far beyond the Call of Duty, and we just couldn't have done them without it. So I want to thank them for that. Okay, with that, I think we can turn the time over to our 50-50 drawing and see how we did and who's doing it.
Okay, today we received $95 in sales and donations, $47 to admin, $48 to the pot, which is a new pot of $48. Last three numbers of the winning ticket, 696. 696.
I gotta mix them up first, 'cause I know you're upset.
John, I think this is happening far too often.
No, I never.
But we do thank you.
Thank you, John, for playing.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's pass the happy jug and see if we can appreciate the happiness we have.
I want to thank Roberta and Kathy and Mary Jean and Linda Thomas and whoever else covered for me while I was on vacation. Also, I got a call from Larry Fichter last night about paying his dues. Anyway, we got talking. He really misses the club. I told him he could drop in and visit us anytime. There are a lot of us that remember him and work with him. And he was kind of surprised to hear that we even remembered who he was. And then he shared with me something I didn't know. He said that he and John Dunn were law partners for 10 years and had been lifelong friends before he went for state's attorney and John went into the center house. So I thought that was interesting, and that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Charles has got
I'm so happy. I had so much fun at the Park Progress Show, and want to do it again, I'll be more than happy to do it. But if you want exercise, go out there.
Well, I'm sort of happy. After the Farm Progress Show on Thursday, Pam and I stopped by McDonald's to get lunch. And we placed our order. It was about $14.50. We got up to the one to pay, and they said, "Oh, yours is free. The car in front of you paid for it." I have no idea who the car in front of me was, but I really appreciated it. One thing about the Farm Progress Show, I think next year we should, our next Farm Progress Show, in 2 years, we should look into getting Mark Avery one of those electric scooters or a new pair of shoes for all the miles he walked at the Farm Progress Show.
all right. Anyone else happy? Okay.
Wait. I've got $5 here for 5 committee members of the Farm Progress Show. You guys were absolutely fantastic in organization and planning, and you made our job a lot easier, so kudos to you.
And I am happy because I came home yesterday and in front of the car I wasn't driving were 2 stacks of 5-gallon buckets. I went to the Farm Progress Show with the hopes of getting some of those free buckets, but I wasn't gonna stand in line for an hour to get a bucket. I could go buy it for $3 and some change at Menards. But I don't know who gifted those to me. Maybe it was somebody in this room, so if you did, thank you very much, because some of our buckets for the Lids thing is getting a little ratty.
Okay, Gene Mennel, who was an active member here for a long time, had his 90th birthday, had a party this weekend, and I was talking to him, and he says, "Is John Dunn still coming?" Yeah. And, but I forgot where I was going. All right.
Good job, Kevin. I'm putting $1 in because last Tuesday Nick had successful hip replacement surgery and is now in rehab at Hickory Point, and hopefully we'll have a walker again.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your happiness. One last thing about the Farm Progress Show is that we actually had 43 different individuals serve at the Farm Progress Show. Bob, I don't see the reason why we can't have 35 fill the roles that you need filled coming up. So we appreciate your effort. We realize we're back to back on this thing, but I think we can pull both of these projects off with a great deal of success. With that said, I think Jerry's going to help us laugh. We'll turn it right over to Jerry.
Harold, is a groan okay? If we don't get a laugh, we could at least get a groan. Okay. There was this couple, and they'd been married for a good number of years, and she was away on a business trip and had been gone all week, and was supposed to get back sometime late Saturday night. And so he was just kind of chilling at home on a Saturday afternoon, and all of a sudden the door opens, and here his wife got home early. And she said, well, you know, the flight, I could get an earlier one, and so I took it, and so I thought I'd come home and surprise you. And he says, oh dear, he says, this is a surprise. She says, you look ravishing today. And she said, thank you. She says, would you please take my blouse off? And he goes, yes, with a big old smile. I'd be happy to. And then she kind of he goes ahead and does that. Then she kind of bats her eyes at him and says, would you please take my skirt off? And he says, dear, your wish is my command. And then she looks at him and she says, don't you ever wear my clothes again.
Okay. All right, next time you're going to have Phil Suttonborough speaking about the 139 windmill farms in Maroa. That might be an interesting topic. And as you know, we are going Kiwanis. We enjoy changing the world for better and for serving the children and others. This meeting is dismissed.